This is the 27th video in a series of videos that study the 101 laws from the Code of the Success Mindset. In this video, we will discuss the 27th law, the law of balance. When we talk about prosperity and financial transformation in the mature stage of life, most people imagine that the answer is to simply work harder, push longer hours, grind until the results arrive, and sacrifice everything in the process. But the law of balance teaches a deeper wisdom. True wealth is the harmony between work, leisure, and personal growth. Imagine your life as a guitar. If you stretch the strings too tight, they snap from tension. If you leave them too loose, they lose sound and purpose. Success, especially for those rebuilding their financial lives, depends on tuning these strings so your melody becomes clear, powerful, and meaningful. Many people enter their later years with responsibilities that seem heavier than ever. Bills, children, aging parents, careers, debts, and the constant noise of urgency. It's easy to allow work to dominate every corner of life. But the law of balance reminds us that financial prosperity is not built on exhaustion. In fact, productivity multiplies when you allow space for rest, joy, and internal evolution. Without that balance, life becomes a race toward burnout instead of a journey toward abundance. Consider the story of Henry. He dreamed of owning a restaurant. Driven by ambition, he worked endlessly. He woke up thinking of suppliers, spent afternoons stressed about finances, and collapsed at night burdened by doubt. His relationships weakened, his health declined, and joy disappeared. Eventually, he realized he had stopped enjoying the very dream he once cherished. When he chose balance, dedicating time to recovery, relationships, and personal growth, his energy returned. His creativity flourished. His restaurant succeeded not because he worked more, but because he worked better, fueled by a body and mind that weren't collapsing. On the opposite side, there's Mary. She found space for work and leisure, but ignored personal growth. She lived like a river flowing without a destination, always moving but never evolving. Her career progressed, but her soul felt empty. The law of balance teaches that leisure without growth becomes stagnation. Work without rest becomes stress. Growth without joy becomes pressure. We need all three to prosper. When financial setbacks happen in adulthood, the instinct is often to work more. But the science of productivity shows something fascinating. Moderate rest increases memory, decision-making, and emotional control. In other words, balance prevents financial mistakes. Leisure activities regulate cortisol levels, improve sleep, and create mental clarity, which leads to better financial decisions. Growth activities develop new skills, expand income opportunities, and open doors you could not see before. Ignoring any of these areas is like cutting off part of your potential. The mature stage of life is not about chasing money desperately. It's about learning how to build prosperity sustainably. The law of balance is a strategic tool, not a luxury. Want to recover financially? Protect your energy. Want new opportunities? Grow your mindset. Want to avoid burnout? Laugh, rest, and breathe. So, how can you cultivate balance in your everyday routine? Start with clear priorities. Most people say they don't have time, when the truth is, they never defined what matters. Without clarity, the world will decide for you, and you will always be too busy for what feeds your soul. When you decide that your health, relationships, and personal progress are priorities, not optional, you create boundaries that silently protect your peace. Next, organize your time. Productivity tools are not just for executives. A simple weekly structure can transform your life. Choose specific hours for work, leisure, learning, and rest. When you do this, guilt disappears. You stop feeling like you should always be working, and you stop wasting the few moments that could restore you. Learn to say no. At this stage of life, one of the greatest secrets to prosperity is refusing what drains you. Saying no to unnecessary tasks, toxic relationships, and unrealistic demands is like pruning a garden. It allows stronger branches to flourish. Prioritize self-care. This is not selfishness, it's a requirement. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and hobbies are the fuel of financial clarity. When you're tired, emotional decision-making increases, and emotional decisions are expensive. Rested minds negotiate better, save better, invest better, and earn better. And finally, commit to continuous personal growth. Read books about money, psychology, and mindset. Study successful people. Learn new skills. Your income rarely grows faster than your personal development. Every new skill is a new opportunity. Ask yourself powerful questions. Which areas am I neglecting? How can I nurture them without losing momentum? What activities recharge me? Which relationships drain me? When was the last time I invested in my inner world? These questions reveal blind spots and open doors. Balance is not about dividing time equally. It's about giving the right energy to the right area. It's about playing life like music, adjusting the tempo depending on the song. When we enter adulthood with more experience, more responsibilities, and more emotional maturity, balance becomes easier, not harder, because we finally understand what really matters. Financial prosperity is not built only through external effort. It is shaped by internal alignment. If your body collapses, money means nothing. If your relationships crumble, success feels hollow. If your identity doesn't evolve, wealth becomes temporary. Balance ensures that prosperity lasts. The law of balance also teaches us to appreciate the journey. Many people chase the destination so desperately that they forget to experience life. The goal becomes everything, while daily joy becomes nothing. Wealth is not just numbers. It's freedom, energy, peace, and purpose. When you balance work, leisure, and growth, you rebuild your financial life with strength. You think better. You choose better. You attract better. Your mindset becomes magnetic. Opportunities appear, challenges shrink, and life gains color again. So today, look at your schedule. Where is too much time going? Which strings are too tight? Which ones are too loose? Adjust them, tune them, and watch your melody change. Because the greatest return on investment is not only financial, it is emotional stability, mental clarity, and the power to enjoy what you build. Without balance, success is noise. With balance, success becomes music. If this video added value to your life, give it a like, share it with friends, drop a comment below, and subscribe with notifications on. You can also enjoy the extra content I left in the first pinned comment below.